The obvious question is it really possible to police this kind of thing? I mean, we're seeing almost Wimbledon being ruined in terms of the queues that are resulting because of these checks, and yet the protesters have bought items on site and used those to disrupt play. I mean, do we just have to resign ourselves to the fact that, you know, let's not ruin life for everybody in policing this?
I mean, I would take the opposite approach, Isabel. I'd have zero tolerance for these people. I thought Johnny Bairstow summed up the mood.
No, I'm not saying I'm not saying be tolerant of them. I'm saying, how do you police against someone who buys a jigsaw on site? I mean, it's almost impossible.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think the government has it within its means to declare the organisation illegal. You know, it's using intimidation, in a sense, to promote its political ideology. And at its very fundamental basis, that is terrorism. I know it sounds absurd, but that actually is the definition of terrorism, intimidation, you know, to promote a political ideology. And Just Stop Oil have gone over the top repeatedly, haven't they? They've broken the law every time they do this sort of thing. They bind themselves to, what do they call those gantries above motorways, causing massive disruption. Vandalised paintings.
But Ben, at this stage, this is where I get people who will say, but in this country, we have a proud tradition of protest.
Yeah, but it's got to be peaceful protest without inconveniencing the public at large.
Yes.
And they've gone too far. They've made their point. And by the way, I think they're damaging their position. Anyone watching Just Stop Oil now, I'm sure, is being pushed against the organisation, not feeling greater sympathy for the movement to Just Stop Oil, which, by the way, as we know, those of us who are sane, which clearly doesn't include the 66 and 68-year-old couple who went on the tennis court yesterday, those of us who are sane, no, you can't stop oil. What do they want to do? Take us back to year zero in terms of economic progression? Because that's what it means. You know, if you just stop oil, the country just stops. We all die, frankly. That's what the net result of their aim is. You know, so the whole thing's absurd. They need to be dealt with, I think, incredibly robustly.